Imagine for a moment the quiet hum that runs beneath the surface of your day. It might be the gentle sweetness in your morning tea, a comforting melody that starts your day. Perhaps it's the familiar, welcome peak of energy from a biscuit in the afternoon, a small, bright lift in a moment of quiet. For many of us, this hum of sugar is a constant companion, woven so deeply into the fabric of our lives, we hardly notice its presence. It is a language of comfort, of celebration, of reward, a sweet, persistent whisper that has been with us for years, for decades. But have you ever paused in a moment of true stillness and wondered, what if that hum were to fade? What if, for just 30 days, you invited a profound quiet to settle within your body? What other, more ancient song might your cells begin to sing if they were given the space to be heard? This is not a story of deprivation, but an exploration, an invitation to step out of a familiar, dense fog and into a landscape you may have forgotten was there. A journey to rediscover the body's innate intelligence, one sunrise at a time. It begins with a single, simple choice: to listen. Inside you, the landscape waits, ready to reveal the clear, calm waters that lie just beyond the sweet haze. To understand this journey, we must first understand the river that flows within you. This river is your bloodstream, and its most vital cargo is glucose, a simple sugar that is the primary fuel for every cell in your body. From the spark of a thought to the beat of your heart, glucose provides the energy. When you consume sweet foods, you send a rush of this fuel into the river. In response, your body has a wonderfully intelligent system. The pancreas, a wise guardian, releases a key keeper named insulin. Insulin's job is to travel to your cells, unlock their doors, and gently guide the glucose from the river inside, where it can be used for immediate energy. Any excess is stored away for later, like provisions for a quieter time. For our ancient ancestors, this system was a masterpiece of survival. A rare find of sweet berries or honey provided a vital surge of energy. Your brain, the command center, took note. It rewarded this discovery with a little spark of pleasure, a chemical called dopamine, ensuring you would remember and seek out this precious fuel again. It was a perfect, harmonious cycle. But in our modern world, the gentle stream has often become a relentless flood. Sugar is no longer a rare treasure. It is in nearly everything. The river of glucose runs constantly high, and the wise guardian, the pancreas, is forced to work overtime, sending out wave after wave of insulin keys. Over time, the cell doors can become weary of the constant knocking. They become less responsive, a condition known as insulin resistance. The keys don't work as well, leaving too much glucose flowing in the river. The brain, now accustomed to a constant deluge of dopamine sparks from sugar, begins to believe this is the only source of pleasure and energy, creating a cycle of craving that can feel unbreakable. The body's beautiful, ancient survival mechanism has been pushed into a state of constant, low-level stress. It is a system working valiantly, but deeply out of balance. Inside, the diligent gatekeepers are growing tired as the ceaseless tide continues to rise. The first few days of this journey into quiet are a conversation. Your body, accustomed to the fast-burning fuel of sugar, will ask, loudly at first, where it has gone. This initial period, Perhaps the first week is a profound recalibration. You may feel this as a headache, a low gray cloud that settles in. This is the sign of your brain chemistry shifting, your blood vessels adjusting to a new, steadier state. You might feel a sense of fatigue, a deep weariness, like a heavy blanket. This is your body searching its pantries. For years, it has relied on the quick, easy energy from the sugar you ate. Now, it must remember how to unlock its own stored reserves. Your liver, a magnificent internal alchemist, holds a storage of glucose called glycogen. In these first days, it begins to release this stored energy, a beautiful offering to bridge the gap. But as these reserves are used, the body must learn a new skill, to burn fat for fuel. This is a steadier, cleaner, more enduring flame, but it takes time to coax it to life. The craving you may feel are egos in a now empty hull. They are the phantom signals from our brain that is rewiring its reward pathways. It is searching for the familiar dopamine spark. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to how deeply the old pattern was etched. The key during this time is gentleness. Hydration, rest, and nourishing foods are your anchors. You are not fighting your body. You are holding its hand as it navigates a new terrain. You are teaching it to trust its own deep wellspring of energy, a wellspring it may have long forgotten it possessed. The inner landscape is tense and still, like a forest at twilight, holding its breath as it waits for the first light of a new dawn. As you move into the second and third week, something remarkable begins to happen. The low gray clouds of the initial days start to part, and shafts of light begin to break through. This is the beginning of the systemic shift, a quiet healing that ripples through your entire being. One of the first places you may notice this is in a feeling of ease. The constant high tide of sugar and insulin in the body can create a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation, like a silent fire that smolders in the background, contributing to joint stiffness and a general feeling of discomfort. As you remove the fuel for this fire, it begins to cool. Your joints may feel more fluid, your movements lighter. A certain kind of inner peace begins to settle in your physical form. Your skin, the outer mirror of your inner health, may also begin to reflect this change. For some, chronic skin issues that are fueled by inflammation and hormonal imbalances begin to calm and clear. It's as if a pool of water, once stirred up with silt, is finally allowed to settle, revealing its true clarity. Deeper within, your vital organs are breathing a collective sigh of relief. Your liver, no longer tasked with processing a constant excess of fructose, can focus on its hundreds of other vital functions, like detoxification and cleansing. Your pancreas gets a well-deserved rest. And within your gut, a vibrant inner garden, a rebalancing occurs. The yeast and unhelpful bacteria that thrive on sugar begin to recede, making space for beneficial flora to flourish. This healthier microbiome enhances digestion, strengthens your immune system, and can even produce chemicals that positively influence your mood. This is the beautiful truth of this journey. You are not just taking something away. You are creating space for your body's profound, innate healing intelligence to emerge and do its gentle, powerful work. The muddy stream of the inner river is slowly clearing, revealing the vibrant life and the smooth, strong stones that have been there all along. By the fourth week, and in the days that follow, you may begin to experience a new chapter entirely, a rebirth of energy and sensation. This is not the frantic, fleeting high of a sugar rush followed by the inevitable crash. This is something else. It is a steady, resilient energy, a gentle, glowing light that emanates from within. It's the kind of energy that carries you through your day with a calm vitality, without the desperate need for an afternoon pick-me-up. Your body has become fat-adapted, efficiently using its own stores for a clean, long-lasting fuel. With this stable energy comes a newfound mental clarity. The brain fog that you may not have even realized was there begins to dissolve. Thoughts become sharper, focus becomes easier to sustain, and memory can feel more reliable. The extreme peaks and valleys in your blood sugar are gone, and with them, the emotional roller coaster that often rides alongside. Your mood begins to find a new, stable equilibrium. But perhaps the most delightful surprise is the reawakening of your senses. When your palate is no longer overwhelmed by intense, artificial sweetness, it recalibrates. The subtle, natural sweetness in a crisp apple, a carrot, or a bell pepper becomes a symphony of flavor. A single strawberry can taste more wonderfully sweet and complex than any dessert you remember. You are rediscovering the world of taste as it was meant to be experienced. The desperate cravings for sugar have faded, replaced by an intuitive sense of what your body truly needs for nourishment. You are no longer being driven by an old looping brain pattern. Instead, you are being guided by your body's true wisdom. You are in harmony with yourself. A brilliant sunrise is cresting over the horizon of a calm, clear, and peaceful inner landscape. As your 30-day journey comes to a close, you stand at a new vantage point, looking back at the path you've traveled. The initial fog seems like a distant memory. This journey was never truly about declaring war on sugar or about a lifetime of rigid denial. It was an act of profound self-care. It was an invitation to listen, to press pause on the noise, and tune into the subtle whispers of your own body. You have given your system a precious gift, a period of deep rest and reset. You've allowed it to heal, to rebalance, to remember its own innate strength and wisdom. What you carry forward is not a set of rules, but a new relationship. A relationship with food built on awareness and respect, not on habit and craving. You now understand the difference between the fleeting pleasure of a processed sweet and the deep, nourishing satisfaction of real food. You know what true, sustained energy feels like. You know the peace of a stable mood and a clear mind. From here, the path is yours to choose. You may decide to reintroduce small amounts of natural sweetness, but now you do so consciously. You are no longer controlled by it. You are the one making the choice. You have learned to read the map of your own body, to understand its signals of hunger, satisfaction, and well-being. The greatest sweetness you have discovered on this journey is not found on your tongue, but in the vibrant health that now radiates from every cell. It is the sweetness of vitality, the sweetness of clarity, the sweetness of being peacefully at home in your own body. You are now the wise and gentle steward of your own flourishing inner garden, and you know exactly how to help it thrive.